Welcome to Talk Dirt to Me, where two farmers shatter myths and take on the top issues facing America's farmers. Here's your hosts, Logan and Bobby Lee.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, I guess this is the Merry Christmas version.
Well, I thought this one will drop before Christmas, won't it?
Yeah, we'll have to record another one before
right.
Christmas, unless we want to record on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
But this will be the last one that the audience gets to hear before Christmas.
I was wondering that, but then I just was thinking, well, we'll record before Christmas. But yeah, it won't air until after. So, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah. Ho, ho, ho.
Hope you're getting some hoe action in there, man.
Yeah. I think you're more a proponent of no-till, but,
Sometimes you need to do some plowing.
Yeah,
I'm a proponent of doing some plowing when it calls for it.
I've heard the joke, when, dealing with, the resistant pigweed and whatnot. And somebody one time said, you just have to call Santa Claus. And they're like, what do you mean? You're like, you got to ho, ho, ho.
Yeah.
Only way to get rid of them suckers once they get to a certain height.
Sometimes it is. Yeah, man. That's awesome. Merry Christmas, everybody. Some people are probably mad at us because I never put together the gift guide, but honestly, it was kind of last minute whenever we kind of got to talking about it.
Just buy something made in USA that we talk about at the end.
Yes. I mean, and because it's getting kind of close to the nut cut now, but I didn't.
Well, I mean, I can give you a good gift guide right here. You go to agzaga.com.
Yep.
Start shopping. Hey, you better be quick about it. You probably should have already done it, but it's never too late. Maybe you can give a belated, Christmas present.
Yep.
All the good stuff, and then start stocking up for next spring too on everything you need around the farm. Use that discount code TalkDirt20. $20 off, $50 minimum order and free shipping. So there's your gift guide.
There you go. There's your gift guide. Do that. And while you're doing that, we want you to jump over to talkdirtpodcast.com. Go to the contact page, submit your question, and you can go on the shop page. Everybody that ordered, because I had input the tracking, most everybody might have gotten theirs yesterday. Some are probably getting them today. And you got those. We still got good inventory. We're running our hats and our koozies are very low on stock, but we didn't have a ton of those to begin with. But we still got a pretty good stash of shirts, unless you're a medium, or we did have a guy, one of our listeners wrote in and was like, if you ever decide to get real man sizes, I'd like to get a shirt because he needed a triple XL. I said, man, you should just squeeze into one of them double XLs.
Yeah. Logan likes to wear his shirts a little tight.
Yeah, man, you got to wear, these are XLs now. That's what I had somebody one time like, is your shirt tight enough? And I was like, it's an XL, man. I mean, I am not ready to go to 2X yet.
Did you ever do like the Affliction shirts?
I had some for just a little while.
Oh man.
I did. But I'm a sucker. Mine were they had the skeletons. They didn't have like we actually went Christmas shopping, me and Marcy, a couple of weeks ago, and we braved Wolf Chase Mall. It was just me and her. Now I was packing, theoretically, because you're not supposed to carry in the mall.
What?
Yeah, they have a no weapons allowed sign. So,
well, my whole policy on that is if you got a guy at the door patting you down or running a wand over you, okay.
Yeah.
But if you just got a sticker on the door, that's not stopping anybody.
No,
but especially anybody with ill intent.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Only people that it might stop would be a good guy.
It's counterproductive.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
I was armed and, we went to Buckle because there's a lot of the stores.
Oh, man, you probably could have found some.
They had a ton of Affliction shirts. I didn't know that was even still
a thing.
Yeah. Right. And they're like louder now because we were looking because I was
the
like,
whole store smell like Axe body spray.
Yeah. And Marcy goes, you used to wear some of those. And I said, man, I know it's crazy. Like I got my t-shirt. Actually I got a t-shirt on. It's not Affliction, but it's got the skulls. It's actually a Christian brand. I don't know. See, it's got like a coffin and skulls. And what is it? John 11:25.
Yeah.
Like that's a Reformed Sage.
Reformed Sage.
I don't know if they're made in USA.
Oh.
You may check them out, but don't say that might be our company, but they're a Christian brand. They make like metal Christian shirts, and I'm a skull skeletons kind of guy. But I still actually, one of the shirts I had, I would almost still wear it today.
Yeah.
It has like skulls and stuff coming over the shoulders, but it didn't have like loud, some of the shirts in there had like gold, and it have like inlet, like stuff made onto this. They were really some loud shirts.
When I think of the Affliction shirts, I picture
the tap out guy.
Yeah. Or like a guy, he's probably pretty short, but he's like 5'6". He like overcompensates by going to the gym and really just doing arms.
Yeah. Yep.
And then he buys a shirt a size too small, got really slicked back, a lot of hair gel.
Yeah.
Probably an earring or two.
I could see it. Jersey Shore vibes.
Yeah. Some kind of a tribal tattoo.
Yep.
Peeking out from underneath his shirt, that's, stretched around his biceps. Yeah.
Man, when I was, and I may have shared this, one of my previous employers, he would, come in, and his shirt he always wore like a shirt about a size too small.
Yeah.
And one of the dudes that I worked with would be like, "Oh man, he got on that medium fresh out the dryer." He would just, yeah. So
I can't stand wearing a shirt tight. Like I feel like my pits are sweating.
No, I'm saying, and actually, as I've gained in size, midsections gained a little bit, but I told Marcy, I said, the physique I've always admired was the dudes that were like big, they had the big upper body, big legs, but then they kind of had the power belly. I said, I kind of like the power belly, they call it. So that's kind of what I like. It's like, man, that dude definitely lifts, but he also likes to eat cookies. And I'm like, that's kind of the look I'm going for. But there's something to me about now, man, I like an XL shirt that kind of, it's not tight, but like even with an XL, you can still be like, that dude, he lifts some weights. Like it kind of lays on you just right. So, and I think our shirts, this is a shameless plug for our shirts. They fit that way. Like I think they just look good. They look good. They accentuate what you got going. So, but no, I know I wouldn't wear those Afflictions now, because they're probably, man, I was about 60 pounds lighter when I was wearing those. So yeah. I would look like I had on Under Armour if I walked in with those.
Well, you would kind of fit the stereotype.
I would, yeah. Yeah. Did you ever wear the Under Armour, like the lifting shirts that were like, they were like compression style?
No.
See, I would wear them under, when I played football, I would wear them under my pads.
See, I remember they became a thing like my senior year. Because a couple of guys on the team had them. Like, I wore like a white cutoff t-shirt. That's what I wore under my pads. Like,
did you have the little funny?
This was back when we actually wore pads. Now, like especially like when you get to college, like they don't even wear half the pads that we used to wear.
Really?
Especially on the.
Well, all right.
They still wear shoulder pads, but their shoulder pads are a lot more like compact. They're probably better.
Yeah.
They're not near as big and bulky, but on their legs, like none of them wear knee pads anymore.
Why?
I guess just because it's less restrictive to them.
Huh.
Like a lot of guys, like their pants don't even come down to their knees.
Well, who was the little queer looking kicker that had
God, that son of a bitch. He kicked like 8 field goals against Tennessee.
Yeah, Oklahoma.
He's a badass. He won the Lou Groza Award.
Was that Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had the little gay looking shorts.
Yeah, it was basically like we used to wear
Ranger panties.
Yeah, I mean it's like, yeah, I mean they're basically underwear. They kick the football, which I could see for a kicker. I mean, you're not even allowed to breathe on them, or you get a penalty.
Well, that's what no.
I don't even know why they wear a helmet.
Yeah. They might as well be naked
in case they fake it, I guess.
Yeah.
So if it's a fake field goal and he tries to run.
What is are you familiar with? Do you follow Rudy Reyes?
Yeah.
So Rudy, some of y'all may know. I'm sure some of you know who he is. He's got a TV show on right now, Special Forces. Have you ever watched it?
He's been in movies, hadn't he?
He was in Generation Kill. He portrayed himself in Generation Kill.
Okay, that's one I have not seen.
It is.
Is it a Christmas movie?
Yes, it is.
Well, I'll put it on the list.
No, it's not. You need to watch Generation Kill. It's actually based on, was it Ramadi or Fallujah? The Marine. It was like followed a platoon of Marines, basically, and it's based on true story. But what was it? 05 time frame. Was that Fallujah?
Man,
Ramadi. either way, they went in there and they were in intense combat. And Rudy, I know Rudy, and he's a really good guy. He's jacked, but he wears the tiniest damn shorts. He never wears a shirt. Whenever I was at Winter Strong, he had on some bizarre outfit.
He's eccentric.
He is very eccentric. Yeah. And honestly, if you heard him,
I've never met him. I don't know him at all, but that's always
well, my first impression of him, he was like super energetic, and he's like 50 years old. But he's sculpted. He looks like a Greek god. Like even his jawline like cuts glass, and he's like done some movies, and like he's got the kind of like Hollywood vibe going. But he was dressed really bizarre, and I was actually standing there next to Terry Hooen, and that's when I met Terry. And Terry was like, "Who the hell is that guy?" Because he was just so loud and he's very flamboyant.
Yeah,
they called him like the Vanilla Gorilla, which they called him Fruity Rudy in the Marines. Like that's not, it doesn't insult him, because the thing about it, Rudy is like,
he's very comfortable
he is insanely comfortable in his manhood. And he's also an absolute killing machine, like in reality. Like he apparently killed the living shit out of people when he was overseas. And so in Generation Kill, they joke about Rudy because he's naked. You see him naked in the movie. And he's like, he would run with a gas mask on and in full gear. Well, when they were on base, he would just run. And he's always working out. And one of the Marines is like videoing him when he's naked. And they're like, it's not gay if you think Rudy is hot. Like everybody thinks Rudy is gorgeous. But I say all that to say, yeah, Rudy, he wears, I'm thinking this kicker, soon they're going to have the pants, because they're not even Ranger panties. I mean, Rudy's wearing like,
wearing like a Speedo.
It's like a Speedo. I mean, I'm like, man, my nuts would be coming out both sides of that thing. But
when I used to run a bunch, I had some like running shorts, which I don't know what the inseam was. Like they were shorter than like.
Were they like chubbies or something?
No, I had some, I forget what even brand they are. And they were like, but they weren't that short, but like, people be like, oh man, it's like, these are just running shorts. Like they come even shorter than this. These aren't like Olympic track guys,
yes,
or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, that's how. But, yeah. Well, I do also. If we got any Call of Duty players, Rudy's been in Call of Duty. He was one of the characters in Call of Duty, in there as well. But he's a really cool guy. But yeah, check out his show, Special Forces. Give him a shout out. And yeah, get your short shorts. Hey man, when I lift weights, I like a short.
Yeah,
I don't want to look like a cholo, Mexican gang member there, having my shorts down past my knees.
Capri pants.
Yes.
Those shorts would look really good with one of our t-shirts.
They would. So y'all need to get on there and get you some. Leave us those ratings, 5 stars everywhere. And we got some cool news to share.
All right.
Yeah, it looks like we will be at the National Convention for the American Farm Bureau January 9th and 10th and 11th.
Yeah.
We'll be more, we really won't really be that accessible probably on the 11th, but
yeah, that's our getaway day.
Yeah. We'll be landing there to the 9th, and we will be out and about on the 10th for sure. We'll be on the floor. Odds are pretty good. I'll just drop you a little teaser here. The odds are good that you might get to see us live in action.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. That's in Anaheim, California, the second weekend in January. We've been talking about trying to get to the National Farm Machinery Show and some of these other events, and this kind of came together relatively last minute. So if anybody's going to be there, we'll be there. Well, we haven't finalized travel plans yet, but planning on being there Friday afternoon, all day Saturday, and probably at least part of Sunday morning before.
Yeah.
Again, we don't have flights booked quite yet.
Yeah. But if you see us, come and talk to us. We want you to come and talk to us. If you see us and we are doing a show, come over and throw us some questions. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we will be there. And I've got something that I wanted to talk. Oh yeah, I got something I want to talk about. You got anything you want to jump into before we jump into this?
Man, no, man. I came into tonight with 0 topics.
All right.
No.
Let me see if I'm gonna make sure, see if we got any
Those are
emails.
usually our best ones.
They are. Let's see here. I'm making sure we ain't got any, see if we got any good questions for tonight first.
Nothing too wild going on in the cattle world. Market's continuing to be pretty strong, and still just kind of bracing for if and when they announce opening the border. I'm a little nervous because I'm planning on selling some calves right after the first of the year, mainly for tax purposes. And they've always said, like, right after the first year is probably when they're going to announce to open the border. And I'm like, damn it, if they do that, right as I'm loading cattle to send to the sale, which I think it'll sort out pretty quick, but might mess us up where we have to hold them for a couple of weeks longer than what we had planned on. But
yeah.
Well,
it's no secret that this has been a pretty shitty year on the row crop side, following a previously shitty year. And I got to share something. I've learned this the hard way. So I got into a discussion on Facebook here just recently, and it was on this grain market page that I'm on, and some guys were just talking about the assistance, and they were like this bridge payment, and they said, man, this is not going to be enough, and it's not even going to be close. And I think we've shared that on here. I think I said that last week when Drew was on here. Yeah, it's, and I commented on there, and I was like, yeah, we've actually run the numbers. Probably would take closer to $60 billion to truly be like a bailout. And so kind of talking on there, and well, I said, we got our butts kicked again in my area. And this dude commented and was like, well, that's what you got crop insurance for. And I said, well, but the problem is the crop insurance. I said, you can't insure a profit. And he said, well, then you ain't doing it right. And I was like, how do you insure a profit? And the dude was like, well, if you got good enough yields, you should be able to insure yourself a profit. And I've talked to several people since then, and one of the like common denominators that I hear is, well, yeah, I guess you can insure yourself a profit, but then you're going to end up like Steve McBee going to prison for a couple of years because you're basically lying on your paper. But I looked, and this dude he was like in one of the I states. So, where their yields is, 275 bushels. So I got a farm here that the corn averaged about 98 bushels to the acre. It was just that's basically a devastating loss. And I upped my insurance coverage and changed the style, like kind of thinking, all right, I'm mitigating the risk that I can. And so tried to check those boxes. Well, I have learned that I am unfortunately in a bizarre or in a small space in ag timeline that screws me when it comes to crop insurance. And this is not anything to do with my agent. It's all federally regulated. Basically, I don't have 5 years of corn history on this farm. So therefore, I have to use county averages. Well, I learned the county averages are actually better than I thought. I thought they were just terrible. On corn, it's like 155, which for our area, that's not awful. Like, that's not a terrible guarantee.
It's average.
It's average, yeah. It is. And so I'm not keeping any secrets here. I have 75% coverage. So to explain what that means, if the county average is 155 bushels, I am guaranteed 75% of 155. What is that? 120 or whatever?
116.25.
Okay. So that means that I should be guaranteed 116 bushels to the acre. All right. I told you this farm, it shelled 98 bushels to the acre. So what is that difference wise?
18.
18?
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. It's more than that.
No, 18 and a quarter. You had 98?
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. All right, yeah.
You were 18 and a quarter bushels.
That's right.
Below 75% of the county average.
So I ought to, you would think then I would get probably that per acre, which would be
Yeah, you would get credit. This is me, and I having no idea where this is going. I would think, okay, well then you're going to get paid on your insurance for 18 and a quarter bushels,
and you could say just
per acre
times $4
corn. You should get $73 an acre from your insurance.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good little buffer.
Yeah. I mean, that's not nothing. I don't know how many acres is involved, but yeah, I mean,
it's not going to insure me a profit, but it'll help offset because that's,
it'll help cover some of your losses. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what when I go in, I'm like, all right, that's what it's going to be.
Sucks. I got to do this, but at least I had the insurance and I'm going to get $73 an acre.
Yeah. But that's not going to be what's going to happen.
You love insurance, don't you?
Yep. So I have learned that because I'm not considered a beginning farmer anymore. 10 years is what they consider a beginning farmer. This is my 11th season. So I'm a year out. And
that seems reasonable.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It does. But I am also not considered. So I'm trying to explain this very simply. So in the county, and this farm that I had corn on, this is the first year I've ever had corn on this farm. I've been working it for just a couple of years. First year I've ever had corn on it. So I have no crop history with corn. And generally the way they do crop history is you need 5 years of history. And so I don't have 5 years of corn history on there because I generally do beans 2 years, corn 1, beans 2. Like that's my typical rotation. So I don't have the corn history. Well, you can be considered a new producer, and new producers or beginning farmers are allowed to use 100% of the T yield, which is the county average.
Oh yeah. So then you'd have got paid for 57 bushels.
Well, no. I still got to use my 75% coverage. But I don't get to use the full 155 because I'm not a beginning farmer and I'm not a new producer because I have grown corn in that county before, even though not on that farm.
So what number do you have to use?
I get to use 75% of 155, and then I get 75% of that number.
Oh, so that's less than what that doesn't even hardly make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Because I would think, because you're a veteran farmer, like what you're doing. I mean, I don't know. And again, I know the insurance companies, they're just trying to figure out, and not that anything against your insurance specifically, disclaimer there. They're always trying to figure out how to not have to pay.
Yeah. Well, see, and this is a federal regulation.
But I would think that because you've been doing it, I would think they'd be like, well, you're going to be even better than average.
Well, you would think that. And
again, that's, taking some liberties, like, a lot of it's out of everybody's hands, but
there is some, like, apparently there are some.
So you're just at 75% of the 75%.
Yeah. And now I'll tell you what the number is, because it doesn't come out to the math that you're about to do.
Okay.
It's 101 bushels to the acre. That's what I'm guaranteed.
So you got paid $12 an acre.
It would be $12 an acre.
Yeah. Well, it's not nothing, but
and like, I was like,
funny enough, I got an insurance check yesterday. I really didn't even look at it that close. I looked at what the total was. I assume it was, well, it would have had to have been for my PRF, which is just rainfall insurance, pasture, range, land, and forage.
Yeah.
And I could tell, I get an email every morning from the Postal Service that has pictures of my mail.
Oh, wow.
Like,
nice, you're fancy.
I think it was because whenever we moved and I had to like get my mail forwarded or something, it's like because I didn't otherwise set anything up. Like I get an email 7 days a week, even the one on Sundays. It like has literal pictures, images of all the letters that I'm getting in the mail. So I knew, I was like, oh hell, that's coming from insurance company. I was like, and that's a check. Like I could tell enough because it was like,
I got a Christmas card of yours that I got to get for you.
Okay.
The post office put one of your cards in my box.
Well, and that's what
your dad said.
I have not have a post office box we moved there. Well, this is my 11 years ago. It was right at Christmas. And of course, nobody sends regular mail anymore other than Christmas cards. But so many people, I guess from like when we got married, have that original P.O. box. Every day, my dad's bringing me Christmas cards. And people still mail them out, which is a great thing about a small town local post office. They don't send it back, return to sender. They just throw it in somebody else's box
Yeah.
that they know knows me.
Yep.
That'll hand it
Yeah,
to
I
me.
got one of yours right now.
But yeah, I got that check, and I was like, oh.
Was it pretty good?
I mean, again, I don't want to sound greedy like an asshole, but no, I was like, oh, because you never know.
So
Like,
it's probably about like what I get for corn.
well, and it's about that hard to figure on if you're gonna. Because used to, I would check like the updated numbers on like if our rainfall hit the totals. Like,
Yeah.
am I gonna get a check or not? Like now, like this shit's so damn like
Dude,
they make it so complicated. I think so you have no idea.
Yeah.
And so you don't even know if you're getting screwed or not. But again, if former guest of the show William Lee is listening, I almost sent him a text like, appreciate the check.
Yeah. Well, and
And
seeing,
again, it wasn't nothing, but it was just like, oh,
well, and seeing that's
not,
what,
not as much as my premium.
that's what I wanted to add. Like this is nothing William did. Cause this is federal.
No, he has nothing like,
Yeah. He told me, he's like, man, this sucks. He was like,
Yeah.
this really sucks. He was like, cause I am basically in a shitty window.
Well, like, so it would have to be just,
I'd have to cut like 30 bushel bean or corn or just it would be a total failure in order for it to pay.
do they mandate like you have to like reasonably try?
I don't know.
Well, and again, my wheels just turn on like how to like,
Cheat the system.
yeah. And like, I mean, hell, I always say insurance, and again, nothing against any of our insurance. To me, I mean, they sell insurance because they're planning on making money on you.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about just crop insurance, life insurance, health insurance,
Yeah.
Whatever. Like they don't have ads running during the Super Bowl because they're paying out more than they're getting in premiums.
Yeah.
I've always said like whatever insurance it is, if you were just disciplined enough rather than paying premiums to just put that money in a savings account and not touch it, like say insurance for your car.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they've already done the math. They know they're coming out ahead on you.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the thing is you could do like I did and I bought a truck. It was brand new and had like 270 miles on it and totaled it.
Yeah.
Wasn't my fault. Now my insurance ended up having to pay for it because the dude who pulled out in front of me was uninsured. But you're right, it protects. And like on health insurance, yeah, like if you end up in the hospital and it's like
$500,000. Yeah.
yeah, okay, yeah, probably a good thing I had insurance, but
Yeah.
otherwise they're making money on you. It's like the whole casino. It's like they didn't build all those
That's what I was
casinos
just
in
sitting here
Vegas,
thinking.
but because people were going out there and winning a bunch of money.
Yeah. But this is frustrating.
It's kind of a necessary evil, but it's like,
Well, and talked to a couple people today and we were talking about it. And I said, man, really, I said, this sucks. I said, I hate to sound like the little bitching young guy, but it's like, all right, I'm not young. I'm no longer the beginning farmer, but I'm not a big farmer. Like I'm still just an average size farmer, but I'm still young enough in the game that I don't have the necessary history to be able to get the full the full amount.
hell, and I'm sitting here thinking, so you got to have 5 years of corn records
On each farm.
and so you're only doing corn 1 out of every 3 years.
Yeah, I'd have to work it for 15 years.
Yeah, not only would you have to be farmer for 15 years, you'd have to be working that particular farm for 15 years. And there's plenty of people that rent ground forever.
Yeah.
You're like, damn.
Yeah, it's and I don't know, I don't know if there's
And I mean, that's 15 years. Like that ain't,
shit, I might be dead in 15 years.
well,
Hell.
I'm thinking like, what if you got a wild hair up your ass and said, I'm gonna grow a little cotton, and you threw that in the rotation, like shit, it could take you a lifetime to get that many years of 5 years of corn down.
Yeah.
And how much has changed, if you got 5 corn crops on a farm over the course of 15 years, I mean, even just in 15, how much has changed over that time? Like
Yeah.
in technology and, the way we do things and yields. I mean, I would imagine, those change significantly over the course of 15. But I was just thinking like in my wheels turn, I'm like, what if you planted corn? You're like, I'm planting corn. I'm going to insure this, but I'm not going to put a speck of fertilizer on it. I'm not going to do any fungicide. Like I might do just enough weed control so I can still get a combine in there.
Yeah.
But like, I'm totally planting extremely low population. Because to me, again, those average numbers, like, hell, we're planting. What's the lowest population I can get by with and still it qualifies? I planted corn.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't know.
Do I have to fertilize? Maybe I'm going and again, I'm sure I'm sure they have a built-in way to be like, no, you didn't try hard enough.
Yeah.
You don't qualify.
Well, see, and apparently this 75% thing was born out of some guys they were basically, they were kind of doing something like that. They were putting in, they might put their wife as an operator and put her on, designate this ground to her. And then they would basically just fail the crop. And then they were getting the guaranteed 120 bushel acre, whatever. So they were doing that. And that's why they came in and were like, no. Like if you don't have the history and you're not a new farmer or new producer, like then you only get 75% of that.
Well, I guess you could only do that for so long. I mean, well, like we just said, it could take you a while to get 5 years of history, but then they'd be like, hell, every year you cut 40 bushel corn on this place. Like,
yeah. Well,
you've got to cut like 20 to now qualify.
Well,
so I guess it would only work for so long.
Well, I think they use the county average or your yields, whichever is higher.
Oh, well then, yeah.
But if your county average is usually lower than what you're cutting. But yeah, I mean, if you had been just scamming it.
None of us get out of bed in the morning and strive to be average.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just, it really just has ticked me off because I'm like, man, this shit is really set up. I told someone, I've always heard people be like, man, they're trying to push the young guys out and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. And I don't know that they are trying necessarily, but there's shit like this that like does squeeze you out because 10 years to me, all right, I've been farming. This is my 11th season. Been running my own operation for 11 years. And I've had good years. I've lately had really shitty years, but it's like, man, I haven't even had time to build up good APH on some farms. And APH is my acres history, like my crop history for people who don't know, but I haven't even been in the game long enough to have built up that much stuff yet. I have some for beans because I've grown, if you grow 2 years. So I've got bean history. But see, like this year, I had actually more corn than I did beans. So I don't know that I have a single farm. I may have one farm that has had 5 years of corn history. And the rest, I don't know that I've got a single farm that has 5 years of corn history.
Like I say, if you're doing that rotation, you're still a few years away from even getting there.
Yeah. So it sucks because there's no really good way to mitigate the risk, especially if you're not a big established operator.
Yeah. And I mean, and part of that, like I understand, anything, of any great reward is going to have risk.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a whole risk versus reward with everything you do. But yeah, like insurance, like just in general, like it's a racket. I mean, it just is.
Yeah.
In a lot of crop insurance, if you're not paying out of pocket to put in your own crop, you're required by your lenders to have some degree of insurance, just like you're required to have, required to have health insurance, required to have insurance on your vehicle. I mean, I guess at least liability and those sorts of things.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, they aren't selling you insurance out of the goodness of their heart.
No.
Now on the crop stuff, and it's the same way, not just crops, but cattle and, that is the one way where we get subsidies now. We don't get direct payments. It's just our insurance is, some percentage of the premium. I'm not an expert.
Pretty hefty. It's a pretty hefty sum of the percentage.
I was wanting to say like on LRPs, which is livestock risk protection. The number I have in my head is they pay like 30% of the premium, but maybe I'm wrong.
See, I think it's, I don't know on LRP, but on the row crop side, I think it's a good bit more than that, they pay.
I'll ask the Terminator.
Yeah, I think it's a good bit more on the row crop side. I mean, it may be the same on both, but, yeah, the government subsidizes a big portion of the crop insurance, and that's what's supposed to make our premiums more affordable. But I don't know, man. I think I'd like to see a revamping of some of these systems, because it's like, man, it feels like it's geared against the guy that's young or growing. Like it's kind of working against you. And I mean, even a growing operator, because again, it'd take you years to get that history. And hell, man, some of these landlords now, I'm blessed. I've got really good landlords. But I know guys, they're landlords. They got landlords that are, shopping the farms out about every 3 years, every 4 or 5 years. And so, I mean, hell, By the time, let's say you just grew beans 5 years in a row. All right, you 5th year, you finally earned that APH, and then the landlord's like, all right, we're going to go with somebody else. Like, so it's like, well, crap. You know, I worked pretty hard to get them APH numbers, and now here we are. So I don't know, man. It's kind of tough. What I would like to see them do, and again, and this is what they can do. If you're considered like a new producer or a beginning farmer, they can take the average of what you have grown. Like let's say my average corn yield is 190. They can just use my average or the T County yield, and whichever is higher is the one they use. So like if I had 190 bushel average, they would use it. And then I'd be guaranteed 75% of 190. So that'd be pretty good. But yeah, it just blew my mind that freaking, man, I don't know. I was like, man, it just sucks. I'm getting shafted. Like I feel like every corner I'm turning around, I'm just getting freaking shafted again. So I'm like very cynical right now, like in a cynical state of mind.
Well, no, yeah. It kind of doesn't surprise me if there's little, footnotes where it's like, or, a little asterisk, because it's like,
yeah. There you go. Just got that message on Facebook. Got his koozie. Andrew wrote in. He just said, badass, has his talk dirt to me koozie.
Good
There you go.
deal.
Andrew, I'll give you the shout out. He was like, man, he said he wanted the bigger shirts. Yeah, let's see, man. There you go, Andrew. You got you a shout out on the show.
We get enough, especially it's tough with shirts because, well, Logan and I have both done it for, our YouTubes and other things. You can't ever tell, like, as sure as because you buy a bunch of larges and extra larges. Like most people, we're obviously primarily a male audience. Most people are one of those two sizes. You get a few, less, the mediums and the XXLs. And then, sometimes you saw the mediums right away and you're like, well, crap, but it's, the t-shirt world and all that, selling the merch.
It's tough. I told Bobby
it's a money losing venture.
We got killed on shipping.
Yeah. We got to do something different there.
Yeah. We got absolutely killed on shipping. We actually, we had a great response. We had quite a few orders. And we shipped them out and got killed on the ship. We actually lost money.
So our online ordering platform, we can't like make an automatic label through it, or?
I actually think we can, but I didn't know that there was like a point to that.
Well, and again, it's more details that we'll talk about off air, but yeah.
But yeah, we got
y'all better appreciate what you get.
Yeah. I was going to tell you, I'll tell you something funny. We had one order.
We're losing money.
Yeah. We had one order that was like $15. And I paid $37 for shipping.
Could you not like back out of that?
Well, I had to ship it. I was up there.
I mean, I guarantee you, I could have just like gone to the post office and shipped it for a fraction of that.
Yeah, well, that's it. And I was like, good God! I told the woman, I said, damn, that's more than the order inside the box. And she was like, well, they're very rural, so they have to deviate off course a bunch. And I'm like, God bless America. Now, some of them were like $13, but we only charged $7.
Even that's too much. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. So yeah, guys, Merry Christmas on the apparel, because we gave you a good deal on the shipping. But yeah, and I'm trying to think if there was anything else. So I wanted to raise that awareness, I guess, that crop insurance, it's not the savior that some people also act like crop insurance is. Unless you've been in the game. The only guys that I feel like probably benefit a lot from crop insurance are the dudes that have been farming for 40 years.
Well, and like on the livestock side, which you can pick different levels of coverage and whatnot, but it's a disaster if I'm collecting on that. Like that, again, you can play it different ways, but like I pretty much when I buy my LRPs, it's like, okay, like something catastrophic happens to the market.
Yeah.
Because that's all just based on market, not on yield or anything, or, death loss or anything like that. It's just, does the market completely fall out of bed before I sell these, and you kind of lock in an expected sell date, expected sale size, size, whatnot, whatever. And I guess the good thing about that is when I sell mine, I might get a really good price.
Yeah.
But if the market, like on the board, is below where I set it, you still collect, because it's not even based on what I actually sell mine for. Because of course, with selling cattle, it's not like, I guess, selling corn where you're going to get the market price, plus or minus whatever your basis is.
Yep.
Whereas we send ours to the sale barn, we may get way over, what the feeder cattle market is, or we may get way under if we got a bunch of shitty calves. But that LRP just pays you just based on where the feeder cattle board is that day.
Yeah. 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 Well, see, and that's what the crop insurance stuff is so confusing too, because you basically have a revenue guarantee and then a yield guarantee. And then you start trying to run the numbers and it just, crop insurance is tricky because I have no earthly idea how much money I'll get. That's just the thing. Like I have no earthly idea.
It's like me getting that little check yesterday for my PRF. Like,
yeah.
I mean, in reality, I had no idea and didn't even, it's kind of those things I'll do it and I forget about it. Like,
yeah.
Like if I get any money out of it, cool. If I don't, well, I wasn't really planning on it.
Yeah.
And, so yeah, in that regard, I mean, it covered like half the cost of like one of my kids' like small Christmas presents.
Well, I wanted to go over something. I got my iPad here. So I was curious. I pulled up this is for 2025. If guys are wanting some good information for putting in crops, if you ever wondered like, well, what's a typical cost? Now, sometimes this can be high, sometimes this can be low, but University of Tennessee actually does a really good deal.
Go Big Orange.
They got a crop budgets, they call it UTI. It's the UT Ag extension. And you can just Google like UT Ag crop budget and it'll usually pull it up. And they got the 2020, this is for 2025. This is no-till, non-irrigated budget. And I wanted to run down like, all right, because man, we're headed into 2026 and there's already some seed meetings going on. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even care about going to these things because right now I'm still reeling I ain't done with 2025. So like thinking about, all right, what am I going to get? What am I going to do in 2026? Like, to be honest with you, it's not really even on my radar right now. So I was like, just out of curiosity, like what would it really take like for a guy to make a little money in 2026? Like, how does this need to look? Because bean prices are actually down, or they're still down in like the 10 something.
Yeah.
Corn prices are not great. Like, and China has been buying, like China did buy it looks like they're probably going to fulfill, I think, the amount they said they would, but it's still substantially less than what they were doing. Like China is buying a portion of what they used to buy. And so because of that, the prices have really not responded that favorably to China making these purchases. So like, see here, I'll just tell you what, UT Ag extension right here. They got soybeans at 1040, a bushel, which is probably pretty close to where they're at.
What you'll be selling them for right now or for next year?
I'm just saying, let's just say this is 2026.
Okay.
But this is assuming that nothing changes and bean prices are still shitty next year.
Yeah. I mean, November price is not that different, or next November 26th, not that different than
what is it showing?
1070.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean,
1069. Yeah.
And that's on the board.
Yeah.
So that doesn't take, so with a basis, it would not be unrealistic to have a negative 30 basis. So that would put you at 1040. So that's pretty dang close. But that's saying 1040 and that says bushels 50. So that's saying you average 50 bushels to the acre. This year around here, I bet you a lot of guys, we probably across the board ended up averaging about 32. So significantly less than that. At 50 bushels to the acre at 1040, even with all the cost, by the time you pay your seed, chemical fertilizer, your crop consultant, you got some repairs in here, fuel, labor, it's got crop insurance, all those things. Well, then you got to pay your machinery costs. Have you ever looked at these?
No.
They're pretty cool. It's got cash rent, and that's not far off on there. And all this, you would come out and you end up making negative $66 an acre.
So even yielding pretty damn well.
Oh yeah, shit. If you average 50,
well,
I'd
I can
be
see
happy
why
now.
you're not excited because, all right, so you're basically, if you're going to plant soybeans, using that budget, and I'd say, I mean, I don't know what typical costs are, but like I see for here for a lot of things, they've got zero.
Yeah, like machine rental, zero. And crop insurance, they got $10 an acre. See, and this is what I want to run through.
So you're betting on.
Hey, here,
like,
you do some writing
but
down.
I'm just saying, like, look outside looking in. You're saying, all right, well, I'm going to lose. Was that $66 an acre?
Yeah.
So I'm betting on one of two things. Either I'm going to crush these yields, or the market is going to be a whole lot better than right now it looks like.
Yeah.
So, or maybe both. Why not both? That whole meme. Yeah. Why not both?
Why not both?
Why don't we average 70 and sell them for $13 a bushel?
All right, write these down. So this is I wanted to see what this comes out to. So we're going to just put inputs. That's going to be seed, chemical, and fertilizer all together. Right here, they're probably looking, their input cost here is going to be closer to 200. It's going to be 200 and something, but we're not going to do that. This is kind of like my survival thoughts for 2026. I'm going to say 64, 57, 104. See, they're saying you're going to spend $225 an acre, which is, don't write that one. That is almost exactly what I probably spent this year.
But you're saying we're going to go with we're going to go bare bones, like and low inputs, see what we can do.
But we're going to still shoot for our yield goals. We're going to be working with our agronomists, and I've already been talking to some. Let's say total input costs. We're going to cut it down to $165 an acre.
And still going to average.
Well, now we're doing beans. We're going to say, let's say a 46 bushel average.
So pretty close.
Yeah.
I would say if you can figure out how to cut the inputs that much and still hold on to that good of a yield, you probably need to be a crop consultant.
Well,
then you'd be making the big money driving a brand new pickup every year.
All right.
Getting to fly to all these exotic locations and go to these meetings, and
that would be nice.
Taking a little shot at our crops consultant.
We got to pick on them sometimes.
Yeah.
Now we're not going to do a crop consultant fee because I'm in this high ground system, and it actually, when I buy things, a percentage of what I buy goes into that. And so I don't actually pay out of pocket. I mean, I'm paying for it, but not directly like that. Repair and maintenance. Okay. Let me try to figure up a number real quick on that one. Now this year was an anomaly for me on repairs, but I would say repair, maintenance, I'm going to say probably 20 grand. Let's see, on 1,200. Okay. They got 33. I think that's high. Let's do $20 an acre just to be
repair.
Yeah. Do repair and miscellaneous MISC.
$30.
Do 20. $20.
Man.
Yep. Now fuel, we're going to do $14.
This is all per acre.
Yep. Operator labor.
Which you do have some hired help.
I was going to say occasionally.
I laugh because
I don't pay myself.
You don't pay yourself anything.
But do $10.
You're charging yourself at this point.
I am paying, but I'm not paying myself. Yeah. Crop insurance.
Hold on, what was labor? $10.
Do $10. Crop insurance. Do $15 because we've upped the coverage. Okay. Now we're going to go down to some of our fixed expenses here. We're jumping machinery. All right. See, now they have equipment costs at $109. We're not going to do that because we have taken the hit twice now. So it's like, all right, I got to cut this shit down. I got to lean down as hard as humanly possible. We have leaned down to $60. So go to $60 for equipment costs.
Are you going to have yours that low?
Mine's going to be pretty damn close. I have cut I'm still in the process of cutting, but it's going to be about $60 an acre.
One of my good buddies who does a lot of crop consulting, he said that's the make or breaker.
$50 to $60 an acre.
Well, he said the guys that keep that number low are the ones that are doing it right.
Yep, that's my goal. And I may get under that if I do everything I've been thinking. Cash rent. Now, this varies wildly. Now, this is an average. Now, I know we've got guys in the I-States. We got guys that listen all over. Some guys are like, my average cash rent's $250 an acre. Well, I'm going to tell you, it ain't around here. But you're also going to cut more yield than we do. But let's say $125 an acre. And I know someone's listening, they're like, $125 an acre, that's way too low. But I'm just telling you, that's it. Now, it's got management and labor. We ain't putting that in there because that's going to be me. And I basically just keep some if there's any left. All right. Now, let's figure out what you got there. Let's see what our numbers are. What?
Here, we'll both do it. Make sure we don't do a key error.
Okay. The silence right now is us adding.
Yeah. You can hear the calculator typing away.
Yeah. Is that 15?
Yeah.
Okay, did you get 409?
409. So
all right.
We did it right.
So let me just tell you the difference right off the bat here. $409 per acre. Now that's equipment, that's fuel, that is every single expense.
Repairs, labor, insurance, seed, chemical fertilizer. Yeah.
Yep. $409 an acre. UTI, their actual thing last year had our total expenses at $586. So that's cutting almost $180 off. Now,
so
what
you're going from losing what, $11 an acre?
No, losing $66 an acre.
Yeah, that's per bushel.
But now remember, we've changed our yield. They're at 50.
You're right.
So that's 46 times 1040 because we said 40 bushel. So that's 478. But by God, we're going to be in the positive.
So you're making about $70 an acre.
Yeah. Damn. Could you imagine? Couldn't damn imagine. So.
Yeah. And I mean.
But the two big keys here, and I know that this is everybody, there's two big ass kickers here that is smothering the shit out of us right now. And it is these equipment or input costs and our equipment costs.
Well, and I'm gonna kind of be the asshole here.
All right.
So that's, and I just for sake of math, I was running at $70 an acre.
Yeah, $69.40.
So 1,000 acre grower, you do that across 1,000 acres, you make $69,000.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a decent living.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but that's poor people, money. But you
could go work a far less stressful job and
you know exactly where I'm going. Far less hours, far less stressful, far less risk. You know, show up, punch a clock, and I mean, you left machining, which you left machining a while ago. So I don't even know what would a guy that was machining doing.
Well, let me just say, if I never quit machining and I was still machining today, oh man, I'd probably be making, $140,000.
You could double that.
Yeah. I mean, because
working probably half the hours.
Yeah. And I wasn't stressing about my job or about my pay. Well, I knew how much money I was going to make.
Well, yeah. And when you left there every day, you're like, well, yeah.
Yeah. Work. Now I go home and I'll piddle around the yard or,
Well, and you don't lay in bed at night thinking,
shit, am I going to lose my house and everything that I got?
I mean, will we catch this next rain?
Yeah.
Or is this next rain going to come in and set me back another 3 weeks on planting?
Yeah. Now, but let's also play the flip side of that. All right. We're still doing all that because we're not skimping on anything. The biggest input cost here is we would probably would be using like really generic stuff. Like, and they claim it's a big cut there. So that's using generic.
So how far were we off of their numbers? Where did we really save money here? I know we mentioned we're not going to figure in
the seed, chemical, and fertilizer were the big ones. The rest we were about the same, and then the equipment cost.
So equipment, and obviously the equipment's pretty obvious. We're
$50 under what they're saying on equipment. But now what they're saying on equipment is basically the average cost. That's what most operators are probably spending.
Because the guys, a bunch of running, they got too much equipment.
Yes.
Too new, whatnot. So on the inputs, can you reasonably get it down without just cutting fertilizer and whatever? Like,
yes.
Like you think it is possible to only spend $165 on seed chemical fertilizer and still
I think so.
yield?
Especially 46. That's not crazy.
Oh yeah, that's not crazy.
Now
obviously it's all dependent on us catching timely rains better than we did this year.
And see, think like the thing about it, if you did the same thing here, the $165 input, if you did all that, but you called ample rain, you had ample sunshine, because we have had those years where it's just the bin buster weather.
Oh yeah,
and
you could beat the 46.
Yeah, like let's say you cut 55 bushels to the acre. I mean, 55 times 1040 is 572. So minus 409.
We're getting a new pickup.
Yeah, man, 163 shit on 1,000 acres. You're making $163,000.
Yeah, we're getting a new pickup. So those equipment costs are probably going up for next year.
Yeah, and see, but here's the conundrum.
We'll have X9.
Yes, an X9. That's right. I want the AF11.
There was one on a lot at the dealership that I drive right past when going duck hunting.
They say they're a big turd.
I mean, this one's just sitting there on the lot.
Yeah. The Case AF11 is actually the one I would want. That thing is like a beast, man. But here's the conundrum. All right. Most guys last year to this year probably rolled their debt. So we're going in with a negative. We're starting out at negative. Some people starting out at 150,000 negative. Some people are starting out at a million negative. Like some of your bigger operators.
Making $70,000. I mean, obviously sounds really good compared to the last couple of years for you. I know, but
then it's like, well, all right, I might keep 30 and I'm going to have to just put 40 towards this to try to, because it's a snowball right now. And I had that conversation today.
Yeah, you're accruing interest on that debt.
I'm accruing interest, and I'm just, the debt, my snowball of debt last year is much larger this year. That's why I am staring at, and that's why I'll share this too. So we're looking at an $11 billion payment coming. If I'm figuring right, if I'm seeing the correct speculation, it's going to be about $40 an acre payment that most guys are going to get. Well, that's not a whole lot of money. And now, and Farm Bureau and a bunch of these people are like, this is not enough money. These guys are way deeper in the hole than that. And so there is talk, there is some whispering that there could potentially be another round that's going to come in 26 that's going to be between 20 to $40 billion because enough alarms are being raised that they're like, hey man, this $11 billion ain't even going to scratch the surface of how bad some of these guys are in the hole. And so that's the thing. Like, do I think there's going to be additional payments? I do think there's going to be additional payments. But if I've also learned anything, it's that every time I have some form of hope in some fashion, I get kicked in the mouth. So like, I'm also not going into 26 with the expectation that Uncle Sam's going to get me out of this, because this is why, like I have been selling things. I have things for sale right now. This is what I'm urging guys. I wanted to do this budget because
if anybody needs to spend any money for the end of the year, offset some tax liability.
I got some shit for sale. I got a badass lowboy trailer that I hate to do, but I'm going to sell. And I got a nice ass T880 semi for sale. But man, like
I could haul hay with that setup, couldn't I?
Hell yeah, you could. And you can get the track hoe. I'll sell you the track hoe. Then you don't even need the spears. You can just grab it with the track hoe.
Oh man. I need everybody to like and subscribe to my YouTube. Pump those numbers up.
Pump those numbers up, man.
I need like 1 million more subscribers, and maybe I could afford.
That's what you need. You just use a track hoe to put your hay out.
That'd probably get good views.
It would. I bet it would.
I should just go ahead and buy it and count on me making enough money back.
I think that actually is a pretty good idea.
Great investment.
Yes, that's what you need to do. But yeah, no, I wanted to go over this because guys, look, most of us have maybe not met with our lenders yet, and they know that that's coming. And I think it's better if you start being proactive. Look, I might meet with my lenders and they're like, holy shit, like what the hell? But the one thing that's good is I can at least meet with my lenders and be like, okay, look, we took it on the chin. I've already sold this. I've sold this. I've shifted this here. This is paid off. That's paid off. Like I am actively working like, all right, in 25, my equipment costs were here. In 26, I'm going, my equipment costs will be here. Like I am leaning down as hard as humanly possible. And that's what I'm urging you guys, do the same thing. Like really evaluate, like, do you really need that right now? And here's the deal, like my lowboy trailer, I love that trailer. It is so badass. And it has really hurt my feelings to sell this trailer. But you know, the thing about it, if I can come out of this and be stronger and better, then, you know, like Dad and I were talking, he was like, well, you can always buy another one if things ever get good. And like, let's say it's also created a structure that I'm thinking, like my kind of plan going forward is one big note at a time. Like instead of having, and I was in a position where being a young guy, again, growing operation, I've had to buy things. Like I've had to buy this. Before I've had a chance to pay other stuff off, I've had to buy other equipment. So, but I like the thought of I'm going to have one big note at a time. Like that might mean, all right, for this chunk of 5 years, I'm going to have a planner note. This next chunk of 5 years, I'm going to have a combine note. Now, what that means is I'm going to be running stuff that towards the end of that period, I'm probably going to have to work on it, but it's still going to be newer than like running something from the 80s, but it's not brand new, but I don't want to have 2 or 3 big notes at one time.
So backing up just a little bit, when do you think, because obviously there's been that number floated out there at 40%, maybe more of farmers, if there's not some kind of help, aren't going to get wings to fly for next year. You know, lenders are going to tell them, no, you're done. What will be the time frame on when people will know that? Like,
I would say in February.
That's usually when.
Yeah, because
they give you basically they grant you the loan to put in a crop or not.
Yeah, I mean, your stuff comes up for renewal.
I guess for our area, because we're not really planting just then.
And some stuff matures in January, like January 15th is a maturity date for some things. But a lot of it is probably, I would say, you know, February, maybe even all the way into April on some of the stuff. But
well, I didn't know, you know, some people like much further south than us, you know, they're already putting in a crop, you know, before then. And so maybe they would know sooner, but yeah. Hoping there's not a lot of sad times for folks.
Yeah. I mean, and I think, you know, now the smoke is clearing for a lot of guys. I think they're seeing the damage. I think there was a lot of people that underestimated the damage. And now that they're putting everything to paper.
Well, surely lenders are maybe like, I don't know, you know, calling guys and be like, hey, I know we're not like totally ready for renewal, but just come by the office. We need to sit down and talk. You know.
Yeah, there has been guys that are like, let's sit down and let's try to make a budget and let's just try to set up a plan. And, you know, man, I don't know. We've said it on here before. The problem is compounding bad years. That's what gets you, man. It's not like most guys can survive a bad year because like you can roll the debt and then you roll that debt and you hopefully have a couple of good years. It kind of sucks because I've heard of people, you get stuck in a cycle where you basically, you roll the debt, you have this chunk of pay that you got to pay. You have a couple, 2, 3 good years, which allows you to pay off that debt. And then another bad year hits and you roll the debt. And so like, you're almost eternally rolling debt. And so you obviously want to hit a lick hard enough that you don't have to keep rolling the debt. And so, man, I don't know.
I'm sure I'll get the exact quote wrong, but I believe it was Rip in Yellowstone when they've been towards the end of the whole thing where they were talking about, you know, trying to make any money at it. It's like in a 10-year period, you're going to have 3 years, you're going to lose a little money. 3 years, you're going to make a little money. 3 years, you're going to basically break even. So that leaves you 1 year out of every 10-year window, generally speaking, whether you made money in that 10-year period or not,
Yep.
And yeah, if one out of every 3 years is bad, that's fine. But when those 1 out of 3s come 2 in a row,
yep.
Which now and again, if it really is just a 1 out of 3, well, now you figure, okay, well, I'm about to have 4 straight good years,
Yeah,
to offset, law of averages. But
and see, that's where
I don't know where those averages come out to, but yeah, and I don't know. A lot of it for me, just looking at the basic economics of it, input costs are way too high, commodity prices are way too low.
Yeah.
It's a matter of, well, inputs are high still because the demand is still there. People are still wanting to input it, or, to buy them, basic supply and demand. Commodities are still low because hell, we're just producing way too damn much.
Yeah.
The global market, of course you can get into all the nuance of, China going elsewhere and whatnot. And part of me is like, fine, let them buy wherever they want to. Let's just figure out what we really should be producing.
Yeah.
Heard a guy the other day, he's like, everybody's, against the solar farms. He's like, hell, it's like we're growing way too damn much crop anyway. Put solar in everywhere. Like, let's take some of these acres out of production. Like, we've got way too many acres, at least with the current market, we're growing way too damn much.
Yeah.
Let's back our, I don't know how many million acres, 90 million acres, something like that. Or whatever. Now let's cut that way on back and get these commodity prices up in the teens, and where we can, the folks that are farming. Now, of course, when that happens, prices get higher and everybody starts, farming every square inch of dirt they can find. And, and that,
drops prices again.
Yep.
Well,
supply goes way up and price comes down.
I forgot to do this. Let's see. Cause, what did I tell you? That was at a 46 bushel average. I didn't run one based off of let's say we have another year like this year. 32 bushel average, 1040 an acre. That's 332 an acre. So that's losing $76 an acre. So that's still, that's the thing. Like
$1,000 operation or 1,000 acre operations losing $76,000.
Yeah.
Which, and we're having this whole discussion, and I feel like a lot of the cartels and whatnot, and they probably have already figured this out. Like, if I was going to launder money, like, just have a farm. Like, it's so easy to make money, disappear.
Yeah.
Like, where, so yeah, maybe you ought to get.
Maybe I need to link up with some cartels.
Yeah.
I really liked the movie Sicario.
I don't think I've seen that one yet. I know you recommended it to me.
Man, I'm telling you, you need to watch it. You need to put the kids to bed. You need to watch Sicario because it's not very family friendly, but it is a definite one to watch.
I got big into the Narcos series.
So you would really like Sicario because it's like, Tijuana, Black Ops, and it's kind of got a somewhat of a Narcos vibe to it.
Yeah.
But guys, I don't know. That's the real thing. Crop insurance, it's just, unless you really are been farming for a freaking long time and you've got a ton of history built up on all the ground that you work, crop insurance ain't going to save you. It wouldn't have mattered this year if I had paid astronomical and had like 85% coverage, because I would still only get 85% of that 75%. So I could have paid $80,000 in insurance premiums and still get basically nothing.
Yeah.
So, insurance ain't, what's the old saying? Nobody's coming to save you. Like, that's what I feel like.
Well, and like those insurance companies have people that crunch numbers in a high-rise building somewhere that know, like, and again, some people are going to make, get more money back out of the insurance than their premiums.
Yeah.
But on the average, no, like, that's why they exist.
Yeah.
Like, they're not doing it out of the goodness of their heart.
Yeah.
Like they are making money. Now, again, some of the premiums, in ag are subsidized, but still, like, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, you want to cue the man?
Let me see if I can find him. I need to save him to like my favorites or something. Actually, I think he is saved in my favorites. The damn iPhone had an update and it makes it harder to find shit.
Well, see, I told you when I went to a new phone, I can't find anything on here.
Well, this is all just a damn update it did, not even a new phone.
Let me start off with 2 words. Made in America.
All right, I'm trying to verify before I say this one.
Oh, not even sure.
Well, I've had it a long time. Like I've had this one a long time. And I'm pretty sure that they are, but I like to, I'd like to be positive. Well, I don't know that it says, which usually does not mean that it is.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't say. I know they make knives too, and they are all made in USA.
Well, you got to watch because I was, don't want to give anything away because some of our audience might be getting a Christmas present from me. I was wanting to get something that was made in USA, obviously.
Yeah.
Always do. And this company, it's actually a company we have featured.
Okay.
But not all of their products are, and that's like a lot of companies, like, they may be made in USA, but they've got like a few things that they do outsource. And I hate that, I don't hold that against them, because I was like, is this particular model made? And like, I kept digging, and I found out, they didn't have it like plastered on there that it was made in USA. And so, like you said, that's usually a dead giveaway that it's probably not.
So it was not?
Yeah, that particular product, I won't call them out, and then I won't say what it was because,
yeah, that's what I just asked the Terminator here to see because I didn't see it. Okay, well, actually, this says yes, it is. So I'm going to go with it because I can tell you
we'll just roll with it.
Yeah, it says, all right, this says that they are made by an American company and are generally produced in the USA. So it's hit or miss.
Yeah, it's kind of loose. Yeah.
But I'm going to go with this one because it is a cool one. And
my wife said, I'm generally a good guy. I mean, it was good enough for her to marry me.
There you go. Yeah. It passes the test. So Hogue grips. You familiar with them?
Yeah.
So I have a cheap 1911. It was the very first 1911 that I ever bought. And I was at the gun store when I bought them, and they had a pack of ivory Grim Reaper engraved grips.
All right.
You were talking about my Affliction shirts earlier. I've got a 1911 in there.
All right. If you were wearing an Affliction shirt carrying a 1911
with this
Grim
on
Reaper, if you weren't dealing cocaine, you should have been.
Well, that's and then see, it's actually a different one because see, this one shows the Grim Reaper and he's got the scythe or scythe, whatever they call it. But that one I got, that's one side of it, and then the other one is the close up of the skull face right here. That's the one I got. See, this is the combo. It's got both sides, but then in one side it's just the close up of the skull.
Yeah,
like. Man,
literally, you're probably the only person that has those grips that's not on the cartel payroll.
And they're on like a $500 1911. Like it's like but I remember.
Yeah, every other gun they're on is like a gold plated.
Yeah. This one's on like a Humorex or some cheap ass.
El Chapo himself gifted it to some of his lieutenants.
So see, but I got I'm ready. I could walk in to make my deal with them. I'll have that like open carrying. So they'll be like, he's one of us. Yeah. He's one of us. So if you do want the cartel style grip like me, I'll have to share a picture on like our Instagram. I'll dig it out. Oh man, me and one of my best friends, I remember when I was 20, because as soon as I turned 21, could not wait to buy a pistol. Because you got to be, I guess you still do, you got to be 21 to buy a pistol. Man, I went up there and I was a typical, I didn't know anything about them, but I knew about 1911s. Man, that was the pistol. Freaking Tom Hanks shoots a tank at the end of Saving Private Ryan with a 1911. And I'm like, man, I got to have a 1911. And Johnny up there that I dealt with, he was like, man, there's you one right there, man. It's good. You can afford that one. So I bought that 1911. I'm looking around. I'm like, dude, what do these grips fit? And he's like, that fits that 1911. And so I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
Take my money.
Yeah. So I bought those grips and went home. And oh man, I love that. That pistol is such a cheap ass pistol, but it's what I got when I went and got my handgun carry permit, I took that pistol. Me and my father-in-law went. And I remember Poncho, our sheriff at the time, we took our license up. We did our stuff at the county sheriff's office. I had that 1911 with the Grim Reaper. Like I had it sitting on the desk. We all were in our desk and Poncho came over there and was like, damn, check out that pistol. I was looking at it.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes, I still love that little cheap gun. But Hogue grips, and they also make knives. I have not used their knives. The grips are awesome. And they got all kinds. They don't just have the ivory grips. You know, they got rubber grips. I mean, yeah, they got them for Glocks and SIG, everything you can think of. Their knives also are made in USA, but again, I have not used them. But check out Hogue grips. It's Hogue. And I mean, they've been around forever. Like they're a staple in the firearms world. So go check them out. And while you're checking them out, we want you to go to talkdirtpodcast.com and go to the contact page, submit your questions on there. And also, we do want you to buy some shirts. Keep buying some merch. Buy some more merch from us. It's still not too late to get some Christmas stuff. I can't say that it will be in by Christmas, like we said, but you can go ahead and buy it and then just give them a late gift. So do that. And what else I need to do?
Check out agzaga.com. Talk Dirt 20 is that discount code, $20 off, $50 minimum order, and free shipping. Yeah, we're kind of getting past the Christmas shopping time frame. Unless you got, I don't know. If you listen to this first thing on Friday, I would dare say if you got to order in on Friday,
I bet they could get it close.
Yeah, you'd probably get
the shipping service. It wouldn't be Agzaga's fault. It'd be in the carrier's hands.
If you got it placed on Friday, I'm not making any promises for them, but say they got it packaged up and shipped out by Friday afternoon or even Saturday morning, I think all the services will run through next Wednesday, Christmas Eve. You may get it, but anyway.
Bobby Lee is saying right now that if you order by midnight tomorrow and you don't get your order before Christmas Day,
today when you're hearing this,
Bobby Lee will send you $100 bill in the mail. Guaranteed money right now.
Yeah. And just like your insurance that you're probably getting, there's an asterisk. The fine print. You might want to read that.
Yes.
Which basically says,
not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, Merry Christmas, fellas and ladies. Remember the reason for the season, man. You know, hey, my kids do celebrate. We enjoy Santa Claus. Your kids probably enjoy Santa Claus.
Yeah.
We're not weirdos about Santa Claus, but my kids also do know that the whole actual reason of Christmas is the birth of Jesus. So
that is.
Which do you got any particular one? Do y'all read any or anything before?
So no, not now. I mean,
yeah,
we used to always, of course, because we went to a private Christian school, we always had to memorize, I forget which chapter in Luke, and there was shepherds in the field, guarding their flocks by night.
Yep.
Lo, angel of the Lord came upon them.
Chapter 2.
Glory of the Lord shone round about them. They were so afraid,
Yep.
All that. And we used to always recite that before we started opening gifts or anything. I probably should make my ungrateful little snotty-nosed kids do something like that. But
we usually read, I think it's Luke 2. That's Jesus' birth. We usually read that to the kids. And sometimes my wife will read like 'Twas the Night Before Christmas or something.
Yeah.
Like she'll do those. And then we whoop the shit out of them and send them to bed. No, but no, yeah, we usually read Luke 2. And so guys, look, we have a good time, but obviously that is the reason why we celebrate Christmas. So
yeah,
we do wish you guys a Merry Christmas.
But yeah, like you've said, like I don't know what it is. I guess it's about both my kids being age, but like, man, I'm into it. Like I'm so much more into Christmas now than I was 10, 15 years ago.
Oh, dude, that's like my house, man. I put the lights up. I had put the lights around the thing, and then I was like, man, I even put them around the column, which we had our Christmas party last night for Sunday school class. We had 40 people here last night.
Dadgum.
Yeah.
We don't have that many people in our church. I mean, we have that many members.
Now that was
we don't have
children
that
and
many
all.
people. Like that's more than our average attendance.
Yeah. No, that was adults and children. It was like 40, almost 40 people. Had a great time. But dude, man, my kids, they're eat up with it. And it makes me like eat up with it.
Right. I'm the same way. Heck, they were watching The Grinch when I left the house tonight.
They're watching Christmas Chronicles right now. We watched A Christmas Vacation the other day.
Oh, we watched it the other night. That movie.
It is just a classic.
I swear it out. You say this about a lot of classic movies that you watched a bunch. Every time I watch it, I pick up on a new line.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, get out the plastic sheets or rubber sheets and gerbil?
Rubber sheets. I think it's the rubber sheets, the little kid.
Rubber sheets and gerbil.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh, Lord, Eddie.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember you talking about the gerbil.
He says a gerbil?
Yes.
Like they got you talking about like the gerbil that runs up the... Is that what he's talking about?
The context is they've just pulled up to
I remember
Clark's
there.
house,
Yeah.
And like they're out there all trying to get the lights to work. And like he's just sitting there beside us at Clark's like, Eddie, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, y'all can stay in the house. He's like, well, it's like we don't want to impose. But he's like, it's been a long drive. Me and the wife need some
Quiet
personal time.
Yeah.
He's like, if you don't mind the kids staying in there, it's like, you kids, y'all go get your stuff. Honey, you get out the plastic sheets and the gerbils.
I haven't noticed the gerbil part.
I was like, oh, damn.
Man, he's going South Park on us there. Wow, man. Yeah, if you don't know the gerbil reference, then you need to look up. Did you ever see that South Park episode?
I've seen more South Park just in like the
Clips, or
viral clips. Like
well,
I have maybe 5 times in my life sat down and watched an episode of South Park.
Well, I don't remember that. Well, I got to tell you the actor's name, but they almost ruined an actor's like a whole identity because they made an episode and he likes to go, I guess, what do they call it? Is it gerbling? What do they call it? Where I guess we're going to tell you on this episode, but on the South Park episode, they basically take a piece of PVC pipe and kind of stick it up their butthole, and then they let a gerbil run down the...
It's rubber sheets, and don't forget the rubber sheets and gerbils.
And gerbils. Richard Gere. You know who Richard Gere is.
Yeah.
South Park.
Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman, yeah. South Park just about ruined his public identity because they made an episode where he is into gerbling, and like, so...
Well, so I'm afraid to even ask, but what is gerbling?
They take he takes a pipe or something and he kind of puts it up his butthole and the gerbil runs up the pipe into your rectum.
That's where my mind was going, but
that's where it is. And it like shows I'm pretty sure on the South Park episode, it even gives the point of view of the gerbil as he's going into his rectum. And so he's like, ah, and it's like stuff in the rectum. But
so do people really do that crazy stuff?
I guess South Park made an episode about it.
I follow like a couple of comedians on Instagram that like make fun of like emergency room x-rays.
Oh
like,
man. Yeah. Those are crazy
stuff that is stuck up somebody's rectum. And of course the joke's always people are like, yeah, I slipped and fell and it will. Man, I'm pretty clumsy. I've slipped and fallen a bunch of times in my life. I've never had any foreign objects end up.
All right, here you go.
In my colon.
I asked my Terminator. I said, is gerbling a real thing? And it said, yes.
I imagine you can get prosecuted for cruelty to animals.
I would think so. It says, yes, gerbling is a real term, but it's extremely rare and widely regarded as unsafe.
How do they know how it's rare it is? I would imagine most people would hopefully not do this
in the privacy of their own home
with their rubber sheets.
It says what it refers to. This says, here's a no-nonsense breakdown.
Yeah, things have really taken a turn here at the end of this episode. At the
end of this Christmas episode.
We got all sentimental with the birth of Jesus.
And now we're talking about shoving a gerbil up your ass. What it refers to, a sexual practice involving inserting a small rodent, gerbil, into the rectum, usually using a tube. It has been reported in medical literature, but very rarely. Most mentions come from case reports, urban legends, or shock stories that get exaggerated. It is dangerous, unsanitary, and can cause severe internal injuries and even death. Doctors strongly warn against it. So it says here,
I imagine it's really dangerous for the gerbil. Like, I mean,
I'm thinking, man, could you imagine? Hasn't that crushed the thing to death?
well, I would imagine it does. I would say PETA is definitely against it.
I mean, who came up with this?
Maybe one time I'm on the same side as PETA.
True. It says why it's so infamous. It gained notoriety in the 80s and 90s through tabloids, shock radio, and later the internet. Famous name rumors, often celebrities, are almost always false. It says, bottom line, it is true. It is extremely dangerous and stupid.
Well, I'm trying to see what year. So National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation was 89.
So it would have been in the peak of the gerbling time frame then, right?
That's one of those things I would like just to have some faith in humanity. I'm like, okay, there's some real freakazoids out there that maybe, but it's way more urban legend than it is like a real thing. But, and part of me, and again, I mean, it's kind of gay.
My, for lack of a better term, my asshole is for exits only.
Exit only.
Yeah. I mean, I guess until you got to get your prostate examined.
Yeah.
Bobby Lee's rapidly approaching.
I don't even know what age that
I think now it's like 40. Bobby Lee's actually ready to go get the finger wave.
I'm kind of glad I don't know at what age that happens, because I hope I just show up at the doctor one day.
They're like, hey, bend over. Put your pants over there next to mine.
That'd be better than the anticipation of it happening for like months at a time. Yeah, I hope my doctor will be like, next year we get your prostate checked.
Yeah.
Hope I just show up and he's like, oh, yep, this is the year. Yeah,
who wants to do that? I thought about that. Like, what dude wants to do that?
Oh, well, hell, I check prostates all the time, but it's on a dog.
But I mean, and that's terrible enough. But like a person, like, could you imagine, like Mr. Roberts that helps us get this prostate exam? Could you imagine making Mr. Robert bend over so you can stick your finger in his butthole?
I think, I mean, hell, I know there's a lot of people out there like, I couldn't imagine stick my finger up a dog's butthole. I'm like, no, that's just what I do. I mean, I'm doing. Did
you tell him you stick your whole arm into a cow's butthole?
I was palpating heifers Sunday morning, and I was like, it was like 15 degrees. I was like,
felt pretty good in there.
Warmest place on the farm.
Yeah,
I cut the shit out of myself. I was bleeding everywhere, but I was like, my fingers hurt worse than my hand where I cut it
because it was so numb.
Because it was so cold.
Yeah.
And then I went inside, my hand got warm, and then it hurt like a bitch.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure. Well, guys, don't shove anything up your asses, especially a damn gerbil.
Cousin Eddie is not a role model.
No, he's not a role model.
He's hilarious, but yeah, skip the rubber sheets.
Leave the gerbils in the little cages for your kids to look at and play with.
Gerbils are great Christmas presents for the kids.
Yes.
As a pet.
Yep.
Not as a novelty. Yeah. Whatever. I don't know what you'd
call that either. All right, guys. Merry Christmas. We will catch you next week.
Yep.
You've been listening to Talk Dirt to Me with your hosts, Logan and Bobby Lee. If you enjoyed this episode, we ask that you subscribe and leave a review. And we'll catch you next time.